All right. Whoa, is it this way? No, it's this way. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going, everyone? Thank you all so much for stopping by. As always, my name is Eli with Pokémon USA. We do our weekly kind of Q&A sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So for those people that want to ask me general questions, let's say I didn't get the chance to respond to your comment on any of the videos we post each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then this is kind of that opportunity for you guys to just ask away whatever you have in regards to the Pokemon market. As always, we also do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed and then leave a comment down below and like any of the videos we post each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, we have 3 winners, and then you can comment and like on all the videos, which allows you for 3 opportunities to win and 3 opportunities to enter. So shout out to everyone who's been super supportive of the channel. We're about 200 subs away from 2,500. Once we hit that goal, then it's going to go from 8 packs of Brilliant Star for each winner to 12. So, but now that I got that out of the way, let's take a look and see how everyone's doing in the chat. And what's up, Pika Pika? Shout out to you as always, brother. MVP, what's up, my guy? John, nice to see you. And Babe Cakes, what's up? And then shout out to everyone that's going to start rolling in pretty soon here. I can't find pre-sales for the Arceus figure collection. They should still be on store shelves, though, if I'm lucky. Well, they aren't supposed to come out till May, so I don't think you have anything particularly to worry about in regards to the Astral Radiance products. Or not Astral Radiance, sorry. The general product of Arceus coming out soon. So I would say you should be good for now, but I could be wrong. I mean, I haven't even got my allocations about it. So what's up, everyone? Hopefully all is well. Good afternoon, chaps. How do you feel about the Sword and Shield block in general in terms of long-term growth, despite the higher print runs and larger amounts of people seeing to hold the Sword and Shield product for long-term? What's up, Hashcatchem? How's it going, brother? Chris, to answer your question, I see it doing really well long-term. I think it's actually done fairly well. If you look at the sentiment that Sword and Shield era had compared to, let's say, an era like XY, a lot of people really felt as if the XY era was an absolute bomb of an era, and a lot of the product in and of itself also got really high print runs, and it was still a set, it was still an era that performed, I mean, really, really well historically. The only difference, of course, is the sentiment towards, more people are holding it nowadays in the Sword Shield era than before. But of course, as I've mentioned many times, as you have more people, holding on to product, you're still going to have a large amount of people that are in this market for the wrong reasons. They're going to have weak hands and eventually sell when they need the money because they're not invested in it long term. And those people that are invested in the market long term, for the majority of the part, you're going to have just an influx of demand over time come in. So I'm not too worried as in regards to just overall demand in a market. It just usually scales upwards over time if it is a healthy market. So I think Sword and Shield will do really well. I mean, you look at a lot of the sets too. Evolving Skies is a great set. Brilliant Stars is a great set. Fusion Strike's an underrated set. Chilling Reign's a pretty good set. I would say if you really think about the sets that haven't done the best, and I don't think will do fantastic, you can make an argument for Rebel Clash, but Rebel Clash is, even though it didn't have a huge print run, it's already, double what you were able to buy it at one point of 90 to 100 bucks. So it's doing well. Battle Styles, I think, will do well long term, even though it's one of the weaker sets. It's probably going to mirror something like you saw, like a Sun and Moon base set or like a Sun and Moon Guardians Rising set. And so overall, the set in and of itself, I think, even though it'll be the weakest of the bunch, I think it'll do fairly well long term. You take a look at Shining Fates. I think Shining Fates is going to do well as a set that a lot of people are going to look back on as a cheaper set to collect. That's going to be fun with all the shinies. You're going to have a set like, Champion's Path, which although in my opinion it's a terrible set, it has those Charizard, so it's going to retain that kind of Charizard, anchor Pokemon premium that it's going to hold. So there's just a lot really going for the Sword and Shield era, personally speaking. What's up, Courtney? Catch my first live Q&A. Well, I appreciate that, Courtney. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions, as always, feel free. I literally go through and I answer every question. So it's not one of these ones where I pick out only people that are in the Patreon, which I don't even have a Patreon group, or I only answer to people that, donate, which shout out to those that do donate. I love and appreciate you all. I will literally answer anyone's questions. I still would say at the high end of the stream, we're usually averaging around 50 to like 60 people. So, you know, I'm usually able to just speed run through everyone's questions if I ever get behind, but I'm not at a point where I have to like pick and choose favorites. And even then, I'm going to try my best to go through. Emilio, yeah, Evolving Skies prices have been soaring. Yeah, no, 100%, my guy. I mean, it's one of those things where you're seeing the prices going for 173, 171. As I mentioned before, once you start hitting this price point in, I said 160, 170, 180. I said those are going to kind of be my 3 price points for as we get closer and closer to reprint. If we hit that 190 point, then I start to get really concerned about just the long-term, you know, potential. I mean, concerned in regards to like what's the Pokemon card doing, but all Pokemon company doing, but also as well, you know, reprints need to happen, and if they aren't happening, then prices on these products are just going to keep soaring until then. And you know, it'll get a reprint and you could see its floor kind of bottom out, you know, at a higher price point, which that'll be a good opportunity long-term to invest in when that does happen. But yeah, no, it's definitely concerning, hoping it'll go down. What's up, Crypto Cold? Do you think Astral Radiance will be as good as Brilliant? It is hard for us to say there. We do know that as far as it goes, we're going to get the, whoopsie, not Pokemon Center. We are going to be getting the second half announced sometime within this week of Brilliance, or of Astral Radiance. For those people that don't know, basically how it works is there's about in Japan specifically, they do about half and half in regards to the way in which they break down their sets, or I should say more or less they have 2 sets, and then the you know, US company for Pokemon usually just takes those 2, combines, and then cuts a couple. So as far as it goes right now, why is this frozen? So as far as it goes right now, we should be expecting to see the second half, or the second Japanese set that's going to be sometime announced within the week, because the set itself comes out on the 8th. So it literally comes out in 3 days. So, you know, whether it be today, tomorrow, you know, the next day, we're gonna have to find out about, you know, what's going to be in the set sooner or later. So because we don't know, and they're not going to, like, people are putting pre-orders on a set, they don't even know what's in it. So, you know, good afternoon. What's up, Patrick? How's it going, brother? Hopefully all is well. Hashcast, which would you choose to invest in from an investment standpoint? Ultra Prism or Burning Shadows? Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, we can take a look and just see what Ultra Prism's going for. I think it's going for around the 330 price point. 360 is the low. Interesting. You probably find it for around 330 somewhere else. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you just take a look at the general set itself, I would personally say that I think that Ultra Prism is way more fun to pull. There's way more pulls you can get. I mean, you got the Lily Full Art, you've got the Cynthia Full Art, you've got the gold cards, you've got the Crushing Hammer Gold, which is a high value card. You've got the Evolutions in it. So it's got a lot going for it. It does have a little bit of a Gen 4 nostalgic feel to it as well, because it also has Gardenia. So I think that Ultra Prism is an amazing set, personally speaking. Then once you start getting into Burning Shadows, I mean, in regards to Burning Shadows, the only reason why this set, as I've mentioned many times before, is as valuable as it is because of the Charizard. I mean, you can say Charizard, and then, okay, it has the gold cards, and it has the, like, you know, Corolla, I think is how you pronounce her name. But I mean, once you get into these cards, the value really starts to dump off. I mean, you take a look at how many cards are worth 40 or more in this set. You've got 1, 2, 3 cards that are worth 40 or more in that set. In this set, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So you've got almost double the amount of cards that are worth 40 or more. So the value in regards to opening and collecting the set, it's going to be a lot greater. Now, to answer the question, which one do I think will perform better long term? I think there's an argument to be made Burning Shadows will, because of the Charizard. So I guess from an investment perspective, I have to go Burning Shadows, but I just think Ultra Prism is a lot better set, personally speaking. So I could be wrong in the wrong. I could be, of course, 100% wrong in the long run, but that's just my interpretation of it all. You obviously understand my sentiment for sure. John Doe, look at what popular sets are doing. Celebrations rising, Hidden Fates rising, Brilliant Stars rising, Evolving Skies rising, reprints slow down the growth temporarily. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing right now, John. I literally was just talking about that in our Discord. Of course, if you want to join the conversation, you can join in the link down below. But one of the people was asking me a question. Shout out to Shiny Avocado. He says, Eli, what's your opinion on the future? For most part, all LGSs around me have been a product. It looks like they're not replenishing. Everything looks, you know, more or less the same. Kind of wondering what the deal is with that. And then I basically responded saying the issue is, you know, there hasn't been a reprint for Evolving Skies since December. We haven't gotten our Wave 3 yet for Brilliant Stars. Prices are climbing. Older products such as Chilling Reigns and Battle Styles are climbing, ever be it so slowly. I just got my allocation numbers for Astral Radiance, and for Brilliant Star, my allocations was 140 booster boxes. For Astral, I got 70 booster boxes, so literally 50% less product than what I got for Brilliant Star. So I don't know why it is I got less. I talked to my distributor. I supposedly have been getting more product than everyone else around me, so it makes me kind of confused as to why that is. I'll try and get more details about it, but all I can tell you is that that just shows a little bit of fear, in my personal opinion, on, you know, Astral being a very underprinted set. We could be 100% wrong on that, but it really leads to the question of, okay, what's the Pokemon Company doing? I mean, Astral Radiance is a set that, you know, we had Brilliant Star come out at the end of February, and this set doesn't come out for another 3 months. You would assume that they're going to have, you know, a large amount of it because they have 3 months to print it. That's a long time when you think about the Pokemon world. Like, we literally had August Evolving Skies, and then October Celebrations, and then November we had Fusion. And it's like, that's 3 sets back to back within the span of like a month or less. So it's like really concerning to me that, you know, I'd be getting such a few amount of product, especially considering my numbers with my distributor, my kind of relationship with them is really strong. So it makes me wonder what the potential issue could be with that. So who knows? Well, I mean, only time will tell with that. So, and not to mention in regards to, okay, what have they been doing in the meantime? I mean, you got to assume you're thinking of the fact of the matter that you've got, you know, okay, you've got Darkness Ablaze ETB reprints, you got Shining Fates reprints, you got Vivid Voltage ETB reprints, but even then it's like, are you really telling me that those 3 reprints that have been drawn out are going to cause a large portion of the market, you know, reprints to get taken up? I highly doubt it, because for those people that don't remember, back in December when this kind of happened with Fusion Strike, there was basically Chilling Reign Wave 2 product didn't come out till 6 months after because of the delay on it. Like, it was insane how long it had been. And then Evolving Skies, literally the overall reprint for Evolving Skies literally came out for Wave 3 around the same time Fusion Strike got its Wave 2, around the same time that Chilling Reign got its Wave 2. So everything came out at once, and then Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage got a reprint as well. So it was almost like all of it kind of happened at once. Like, it was an insane amount of reprints. So speculatively speaking, of course, you know, knowing that Astral, as far as it stands right now, looks like it's going to have a small print run. A lot of people assume the same exact thing with Fusion, but they ended up having a large amount of product for Fusion Strike when it had its 3rd wave, which we weren't allocated a 3rd wave. They just kind of threw it at us last second. So I think there's reason to possibly believe, and I could be wrong with this, with prices rising on everything, that come May, we're going to see a bunch of this product all of a sudden just get absolutely flooded onto the market. Could be wrong, but it feels a lot like deja vu and what they're doing in December. And considering that's kind of what we've been hearing about Brilliant Star reprints for Wave 3 coming in sometime in May, it almost adds up to me that that's kind of how they're going to be approaching it. Could be 100% wrong, but I do hope that the sentiment on that is correct, because otherwise, what is the Pokemon Company doing for the past 3 months? Like, they haven't really been doing much in regards to product other than the 2 ETB reprints. So, and people are clamoring to get booster box product because booster boxes are what you open. ETBs are more for the collection value. So, John Doe, yeah, no, when they go out of print, 100% agree, John. They will go up in value over time. Of course, I appreciate you, Chris. Brian Wang, wanted to hear your thoughts on Evolving Skies singles. I'm trying not to FOMO right now in those singles, but with the potential reprints coming, I also don't think we see huge dips. And I mean, regardless of what happens, Brian, I mean, when you talk about reprints, if this set is going to be getting a massive reprint, it will still have a large dip off in value, even if the demand is super high. Now, obviously, we can say Evolving Skies is kind of an outlier because of how strong the set demand has been. And if we take a look at the value of the set in and of itself, I mean, obviously it found its flat line and it's gone up 343. But if you're telling me you're going to be FOMOing in right now before reprint after the price, if you had bought in at, you know, technically the bottom low after it got its 3rd wave of 171 and then it went all the way up to 343, you're buying in at a 100% increase of value off the bottom. So even at this point, what are you saying to yourself? If there's going to be a potential reprint within the next month or two, could be wrong, of course, but hypothetically speaking, for the sake of the argument, do you really think the Umbreon's going to go to $500? I'd beg to differ before you really start to see the price of the product go down, especially considering Worlds is right around the corner in August. So, I mean, if you think that it could potentially go up to that increased amount of value within the next month or two, then by all means, but I would recommend against it, because obviously your opportunity was when it came out with its third wave of Evolving Skies. That was the kind of time to get in. Obviously, we saw a lot of stagnation for it not going down, which is actually very, very peculiar. So, and the growth, of course, eventually doubled. So I would much rather wait and kind of put my hopes on the fact of the matter that, hey, let's say that, you know, the price of this goes to $360, $370, right? But then we get a reprint and then it goes all the way below $300. So, you know, it could go more, it could go less, who knows? But I would just rather play the odds and wait and be patiently, personally speaking. But that's just my opinion. So, because it's already at such a premium right now, I think you're going to be rewarded a lot more by your patience of waiting for that reprint. You were saying that you sell the bulk to make up for the loss that you were giving us. Please keep the trainers, by the way. How do you or other LGSs cover losses with bulk? So just for people that understand in regards to how we run our breakers is what Babe Cakes is kind of referring. And I should probably, I mean, we've got 50 viewers. I think I should probably do a poll for that, considering we're going to be doing another breaker this upcoming Sunday. But basically, for those that wonder, and this just applies to basically more than just people that do breakers, just people that want to kind of make up for their losses of old product that they've ordered. So just so that you can completely understand what we're referencing, if you buy a booster box, right, and you're saying, you know, I bought a booster box for $100, right? I bought it for $90, and let's say you only pulled about $40, $50 worth of value in, you know, rares, secret rares, and so on and so forth. You're technically losing $40. But if you have a bunch of bulk, you can make up that kind of amount of money by going to TCG Player, making an account with them, and then selling off a lot of the trainer cards, selling off a lot of the rare cards that are non-holo, selling off a lot of uncommon cards that are competitively viable. So when asking the question of like, how do I make up for the loss of value, because we did a Unified Minds box break and I was losing $30 out the get-go because I bought it and then sold it cheaper to you guys because I just wanted to kind of give back. I basically am trying to make up for my losses by selling the uncommon cards, the common cards that are worth a decent amount of money, and by decent I mean like 5 cents, right? And then selling the trainers as well. So that's kind of the whole intention behind it in regards to how you can really make up for your losses and even make a business out of it. I mean, for a lot of people, buying old bulk and then just listing it, I know TCG Direct also is a program through TCG Player that you can really make a decent amount of profit. You might say 5 cents, that's not a lot, but if you say 5 cents times 1,000, that's, you know, a decent amount of money that you're going to be receiving, depending upon how quickly your sales kind of turn over, if we're talking about from a profit perspective. But one thing I want to do quickly before we get into the kind of main discussion in the video and I continue with your guys' questions, I do want to put a poll quickly. Obviously, this is for people that would like to enter into our breaker streams. We do those every single Sunday. So I think that I'd be without remorse if I didn't ask the question, what booster box do you guys want us to open? You want us to open? So that's going to be the question. We're going to be talking about Lost Thunder is going to be the set that we're going to be talking about. Lost Thunder, Fates Collide. We're going to add option Cosmic Eclipse. And then last option we're going to be adding is going to be Other. And as mentioned before, in regards to this, for those people that are wondering about our breaks, I buy them at the market value and then I sell it to you guys for less than what I am personally buying it for. That way, people can enter into the breaker stream at a more affordable price. So that's kind of the way in which we do the breaker streams. So of course, I also make shipping really cheap. I make it as low as $1, depending upon how many packs you're buying. So that's just generally how we like to do things. But thought I might as well get some market sentiment from you guys on those people that would like to enter into the breaker that we host each and every Sunday at 12:30 p.m. But yeah, another thing as well. Let's read some more questions. Joe, I got my my first box at 2 weeks ago at 140. Really, for what set? Evolving Skies. That's a great price if you did. Especially considering current market prices. If you're right to hold long term, the better, so you can push through possible recession. Yeah, I mean that's literally the sentiment we're having with a lot of the product right now. You need to unbox Oregon Chrome extension to block those ads. What ads are you referencing there, Max Master? Are you talking about with Pokemon? Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about PokeBeach, yeah. How do you think a case of 4 Celebrations Pokemon Center ETBs will do long term? I have full Celebrations product line in my collection, but this was my most expensive purchase over the UPC. To answer your question there, George, I have about 30 Pokemon Center exclusive Celebration ETBs. I think maybe 40 actually. So I personally have a decent amount myself, and I am a very strong believer of the product long term. So if that doesn't answer your question, I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I'm a huge believer in the product. So I think you're in good hands in regards to that, because I was buying it for 65 back when it was available on the Pokemon Center website. Hi, I bought a Flareon VMAX Premium Collection and the box was damaged. Ooh, I guess it's just, if I open it right now, I mean, if you want to, Lance, you definitely can. It depends how damaged it is. If it's minimally damaged, it will hurt the value a little bit long term, but it's still going to be a held item that will do well. But if you're talking like a straight up rip or tear, then obviously that can cause a lot of damage in regards to its overall value. So, I mean, I guess the value of it right now for these boxes, I mean, to be completely fair, they're not at like all-time high premium value. You can still get them for, I mean, don't get me wrong, like the boxes themselves are going for around, $65, and the value, I mean, $70, whoopsies. And the original retail value was $40. So you're talking about like, a 70% premium. But I still consider them to be really cheap considering what you're getting in for them. So, I mean, I guess you might as well if it is that damaged. But I don't want to give in to your kind of, oh, oopsie, I might as well open it because you want to open it. So it really just depends on your intention. If you love the market and you're here to open product, then there's nothing wrong with it. And you can always buy a replacement one for $70, which I don't think is a bad price, all things considered. What's up, Agent? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Appreciate you as always. Hopefully all is well with you. I think Celebrations will be the top 3 best performing Sword and Shield sets over the long term. I agree. It'll perform really well. Patrick Deppner, Northwest conversation reminds me why Fusion Strike is probably slept on. Top cards are solid. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you listened in, for those people that didn't, on our last Thursday live stream, I was having a conversation with him where I was really picking his brain and trying to kind of have a conversation. Which set is better, Fusion Strike or Chilling Reign? So Lance's plays, I'm planning to buy either Hidden Fates or Champions Path EDBs. Do you think those are worth it? Oh yeah, I mean, it depends really, Lance, on what price you're able to get them for. Hidden Fates, I mean, I think it's going to perform really well long term. It's been extremely stagnant, which is absolutely crazy to me. I mean, we can take a look at Hidden Fates ETBs right now. In regards to the value of the product, I mean, it's sitting at at its high, I mean, let's take a look at the year. At its high, 170 stagnantly, and it's sitting, at a low of 153. If you can get it for around, my personal opinion, 140, 150, that's not a terrible price by any means, especially considering this set at one point for ETBs were going for upwards of $400, like 350, 400 right before we had that massive reprint. So the ETBs of this set have, historical, we've seen history of the sets in and of themselves. And what potential value that you could see with Hidden Fates. And then Hidden Fates, a lot of people argue, is one of the best sets of all time for Pokemon. So I don't see why this isn't an absolute steal when you think about the long-term potential growth of the set. So I would choose, if I were to choose between the two Hidden Fates, I don't think Champion's Path is a bad pickup by any means, because obviously the set in and of itself was not printed super heavily. I mean, it got its Wave 1 and 2 initially, literally came out Wave 1 and then immediately got a Wave 2 like a month later. So it didn't get a Wave 3 reprint, Wave 4, but the demand was not extremely high because it was kind of just Charizard or Charizard. What are you going to get? But long term, I do think that it will perform well. But personally, I just love ETBs because I think it's just such a more valuable set. But Pika, what's up, my guy? Well, grandmas and grandpas and wanting to open Celebrations with their retirement. Yeah, right. That's so funny. We probably will, man. Hidden Fate's better. Yep, 100% agree, Agent. Isn't Hidden Fate Sun and Moon era? Yes, it is. 30 minutes late. What's up, Tic Tac? How we doing, brother? Hopefully all is well. Hey, you're still here to the party, though. Lost and Found, an XY Evolutions booster box just sold on eBay for $350. Thoughts? I would love to see a link to that, Lost and Found. I know that a lot of the times you do have... I mean, we can take a look right now and look at Evolutions. You're saying, wait, was it booster box? Yes, you're saying Evolution's booster box. So a lot of the times you will see a lot of these listings at a lot cheaper of a price, and it'll typically speaking be a scam listing. Of course, if it is a legit listing, that is a completely different conversation, but I would absolutely love to see which one you're referencing. I mean, here's one XY Evolutions booster box that sold for $570. I mean, that's a really good price if that's the one you're referencing. Let's see what the individual kind of rating is for the person. We can see, let's see, Pokefreak, 13 stars. And if you really want to take a look as well, I mean, it's a hard one to say on the credibility of this individual. They only have 13 listings, and it's pretty easy as well to be able to, you know, verify someone with such a low amount, but it could potentially be true. I mean, who knows? I mean, that's a pretty good price to be able to get one at, you know, it could be an outlier. I mean, here's another Evolutions. I mean, this one has a little bit of a damage in the top, so that one actually makes sense why. I mean, there's an example of showing you how damage value can definitely hurt it, but still goes up long term. I mean, those are your only real two examples, so that one mainly is damage, which is why. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, it's really hard to tell, and a lot of the times you can actually find those deals if it ends up being legit and that individual, you know, is not a scammer and they just have a low amount of ratings. But since they can't move product because they have such a low amount of ratings, you could find potential great opportunities for steals, because a lot of people are sleeping on it because they're skeptical, which, you know, eBay has that buyer protection, so you are more than likely protected from any sort of those scam products. Hero TCG, when is wave 3 a billion stars? So what we've been told from my sources, specifically, you know, Danny Phantom's also talked about this as well, we should be seeing one in sometime in May. With Chilling Rain Fusion booster boxes staying low for such an extended period of time, do you think that makes a final BB reprint less likely? Nope, not at all. We saw prices of battle styles go up to 100, 105 at one point, and then they still got reprinted into the ground again. So I think that, John, what'll more than likely happen with these sets, they'll stay very, very flat for a while, and then you'll see the value of those booster boxes eventually go up over time, because, you know, demand will, you know, eventually take over the supply as it begins to dwindle. And these sets are in reprint technically until 2023 of August, because they're going to be part of the competitively viable set. So unless all of a sudden these sets literally do not pick up any value because no one's touching it, which I highly, highly doubt, especially when you see what's going on in the Pokemon market right now, where people are clamoring to get onto product because we haven't had reprints for anything in such a long time, and so they're getting older product. I mean, that's what happened with Crimson Invasion. That's what happened with Steam Siege. People couldn't get their hands on a lot of this product, and so basically what they ended up doing was going back and buying up older product that was cheaper, and then the supply on that went down, and so demand went up naturally as well for that. So I would say Chilling Rain battle styles, more than likely you're going to see an increase in value. You could see the booster box prices go upwards of, you know 120, 130, 140 even within the next year. I would say potentially, and then they could see a reprint in that time frame because of what's going to happen with them still being a competitively viable set. So could be 100% wrong on that, but I mean, you kind of saw that same exact thing happen with Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze, and I think they're going to be in those sets specifically. And Vivid Voltage was printed into the ground. A lot of people kind of forget that. So 100% confirmed clean Lost and Found. So you must be specifically talking about this one then. Yeah, like I had mentioned before, obviously. eBay recently sold listing, yeah, for the Burning Shadows and 350 Evos, wherein considering these are 5-year plus older sets. I mean, if this is the one, hopefully this is the set you're referencing. Obviously, you can mention that in the comment section down below if this is the one you're referencing. But yeah, I think that I mean, like I said before, I already went into that, so I won't take up too much time. For the average person, where's the most common place to buy boosters? Not meaning online, like in person. Ooh, that's a hard one. I mean, if you're talking booster boxes, LGS stores, but LGS stores specifically, a lot of them I know will overcharge for booster box prices. So your best bet, typically is to buy online. Sadly, if you are lucky enough to have a local game store that does charge a fair price for booster boxes, then great. Super happy for you to have that opportunity. But I know for my LGS stores, they charge 150, 160, 170 for booster boxes, and he's the only guy in town. Sounds like I should probably start a competition and create my own LGS locally. I wonder how well I would do if I do that, but I'm just concerned about not being able to get product, because if I'm getting the numbers that I'm getting for Astral, oh my goodness gracious, that scares me a lot about if that would even affect if I start an LGS. EX Dragons. What's up, Koga? How we doing, brother? Hopefully all is well. Would you currently rather invest in Hidden Fates ETB for 150 or 3 Shining Fates ETBs for 150? Ooh, that is a fantastic question, John. I would say 3 Shining Fates ETBs for 150, and the only reason why I say that is because technically speaking, the MSRP value of a Hidden Fates ETB is $50, and Shining Fates is at its MSRP value, and I think it's going to be a lot easier to move percentage-wise for Shining Fates product to move, a lot. How do I want to say this? It's a lot easier for Shining Fates to move from $50 to $70, which is going to be a, I mean, what's the math on that? That's 5, 10, 15, 20. That's going to be a 40% increase. Then it's going to be for, in my personal opinion, Hidden Fates to go from, 150 up to, what's that, $60, 210. I mean, I think when you think about just the dollar movement that's going to have to happen for, the value to increase, I just think that more people are going to lean towards the Shining Fates product because it's a lot more affordable. Although Hidden Fates, I think is a really good set that'll perform super strong long term, and I think it's a really safe pick. I do think that being able to get the value of getting in at Shining Fates right now at MSRP, I think is one that could potentially prove a really good investment long term. Could be 100% wrong. I could be underestimating the value that we could be seeing with Hidden Fates in the current span of time, but I do think Shining Fates is a pretty underrated set, even though I understand the dislike of the set compared to Hidden Fates. It's kind of being undershadowed by that, but I still think its value it should be greater long term. Thanks for answering. I just really love evolutions. Yeah, of course, I totally understand that, Lance. Yo, what's up? I'm on. How are we doing, brother? Hopefully all is well. Hey, Eli, curious to hear your thoughts on Japan's EV Heroes Pokemon Center. They are about $450 right now. Would love one of the collections, hoping it goes up over value. I mean, as I've mentioned many times before, I'm on in regards to Japanese product. Japanese do things a little bit differently than when you're talking about how America does it. America prints to demand. Japan is not like that. They like to have a lot more cleaner waves in which they print things. And they like to stick to them. So as much as I hate to say it, unless demand in the product goes down, which of course if we do end up having a recession in the next year or so, then there's an argument to be made of, okay, that's when you're going to have an opportunity to get in at a cheaper price. But if demand is not going down, we don't see some sort of economic disaster, then I don't see it slowing down, and I don't see a reprint happening, because this is Pokemon Japan, not Pokemon English. I'm sorry to tell you the bad news on that, but that is incredibly expensive. Oh my goodness gracious. Should I take that $450 and buy a bunch of Fusion Striker CR at $80 a booster box? I mean, I would definitely go and probably buy Fusion Striker CR at $80 a booster box. But as the discussion that we had with Northwoods, if you're going to go between the two, I would not go booster box. I would go Elite Trainer box for Fusion Strike. But even then, you can also get Brilliant Star ETBs, if I'm correct, still available. I mean, let's take a look right now. Just double check. But Pokemon Center, if I am correct, ETBs for Brilliant Star are still available, which is absolutely insane to me that they are still available. Why am I struggling to find this? Yep, they are still available, and I think that's absolutely insane, personally speaking. I think these are going to be some of the best pickups long term. So I would much rather put my money there or put it in a Fusion Strike ETB long term. If you're talking about from an investment perspective, collecting, it's a different story, obviously. Hidden Fates population is huge. Sealed product makes no sense because the cards are not rare. I mean, but you have to talk about the difference between the value you're getting from sealed lost and found compared to the value you're getting from singles. I guess that's really the question. When you're talking about why the sealed product makes no sense, I guess, are you saying why the value of it makes no sense compared to the population report? I'm curious, I guess, by your question, so let me know. If Face is being sold for 136 over here, that's a great price point, Lance. If you can get it for 136, that's amazing. What's up, Patrick? How are you doing, brother? Hey, so I know you're fairly certain they will reprint Evolving Skies, but what makes you certain they won't reprint the ETBs, considering in Darkness Blaze ETBs? Well, it's funny you say that, Patrick. I actually made we had a conversation about this on one of our older live streams where I actually did say it's very possible you could see the ETBs get reprints. The only thing where I say I feel like there's a doubt of certainty that there could be ETB reprints is the PC ones. But that's just because, historically speaking, going back to Chilling Reign, which it's been almost a year now since Chilling Reign ETB pre-orders were up, we're talking about 0 reprints have happened for any of the Pokemon Center products. And by reprints, I mean you take a look at how long, like I said, they've been out for. So in regards to like if you're talking ETBs for Evolving Skies, I feel pretty confident, but we don't know because there's such a short-term history in regards to Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs, so we don't fully know. But in regards to ETBs with Evolving Skies, there's a possibility that you could see a reprint with that within the next year, especially considering that's exactly what they did with Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage. Or a counter argument to that is they are outliers, specifically considering the fact of the matter that Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze did not get a huge reprint or a huge print initially for the ETB. So that would be the only counter argument I have to that. But I definitely think it's highly possible if you look at what the Pokemon Company has been doing recently and trying to cater more towards the ETB collectible fan base. But who knows? Could be wrong with that. But I definitely would not rule it out. Do you think they'll ever reprint Hidden Fates at this point? Highly doubt it. It's not part of it's not a competitively viable set. It's not part of the competitively viable standard format. I don't see it happening. You could see old product of Hidden Fates potentially shore up. Highly doubt that'll happen. But obviously we've seen that happen with Fates Collide and Lost Thunder and other older sets. So I would just lean towards probably not. And 130, 140 is an amazing price when you look at the long-term value, personally speaking. With Brilliant Star and Astro out now, and Cosmic will start skyrocketing too because they're training galleries. I mean, there's definitely an argument to be made about that, JFun, that obviously the nostalgic value of Cosmic will go up. I think that since we did have sets that, or items I should say, have Cosmic Eclipse packs in them, the value of the packs and the cards won't skyrocket. I mean, you've seen an actual downtrend recently in regards to Cosmic product, in regards to the singles, but that's mainly just because we've had, like I said before, you had the D21 tins balls come out. You had some other product that we found that had Cosmic Eclipse items in it, and we know of Arceus Figure Collection is also going to be having Cosmic Eclipse packs. Sounds pretty likely. It's not 100% confirmed, but it seems more than likely from what our sources have told us. But we don't know 100% until we get the product, especially with the images. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. But I definitely agree with you that there is an argument to be made about the nostalgic power that you will have. But considering we still have some pack product for Cosmic Eclipse showing up in a lot of items, that'll suppress the nostalgia value that you will see in regards to these singles going up because of the newer sets having the character galleries. Thoughts on the best product type to invest in for medium-term gains? Medium-term games, I would say that I actually did a full breakdown video on this, on why I think if you look at the history of what we've seen with the well, it also depends on what you mean by medium term. Personally speaking, when I think of medium, I think 6 months to a year. I made a full breakdown video where if you literally just take a look at the history of what's been going on with the Pokemon Center ETBs, and you were to just buy $500 worth or $1,000, I forgot what the bankroll amount I started with, but if you were to just take that amount and you were to just basically hold it, and then once it sold out on the website and then it went up in value 3 months after, I just basically made a full-on video on how you could bankroll and double your profits within the span of 6 months to a year, based on the demand for the item itself and how quickly it would go out of print. So I think that's a good strategy in regards to that. I mean, even a set like Fusion Strike, of course, the set came out in November, December, January, February, March, April. I mean, it's been out for 5 months, so we're not even at that 6 month to a year point of would you say it's worth it to, you know, flip it. And the value of this is going for $70 right now. Wouldn't be surprised if the value of this ETB did eventually go up to $80, $90, you know, within the next, you know, 2 to 3 months. So, and then you could use that money with all the profits you made after fees, shipping, handling, all that kind of stuff, to then flip it and then just do the same exact thing with a set like Brilliant Star, for example. That is one strategy, or just playing the waves where you take a set, you buy the pre-order price of a product, and then once you have you know, secured the product that you're going to be receiving, then you yourself can then also sell the pre-orders right before the release date. I know a lot of people do that. Specifically, if we're talking like, you know, what happened with Brilliant Star. Brilliant Star got to as low as $110 when you're looking at pre-release lowest price, and then it ran up to $160, $170 right before the set was dropped. So if you got in at those pre-order prices, set releases, you're able to sell it for $150 day of. I mean, you're talking about a really good chunk of change, like a month or two before the set's released. So really being able to ride out the wave of the ups and downs of pre-orders and also print runs within the kind of Pokemon market. So that's what I would say if you're talking about how to make best medium turn games. It was 350 British currency. Well, Lost and Found, where are you from? Because I'm from the States. So I obviously am not seeing, if you can, here's the thing, this is what I'm going to say, Lost and Found, join the Discord, send me the link to which one you're specifically talking about. That way we can show it on screen. It'll be a lot easier and cleaner because I keep trying to search through it for you, but I can't find it exactly. So if you want to just go if you want to go to our Discord link, click on it, and then PM me, then that'll be great. Also, I want to take a look and see as well what we have for the overall poll for the breaker. I did not see which one people wanted us to open. So let's take a look. So 41% said Cosmic Eclipse. Gotcha. All right, sweet. So we've had 56 votes, Cosmic Eclipse. 41% of people want us to do it for Lost Thunder. So, all right, I guess that'll be the one we're going to be doing. People said other, but it doesn't look like there was a ton that people were saying for other, but good to know. All right, Fenke. All right, well, can't do anything about that, obviously, because you're on Discord, but one more. Do you think the Sword and Shield Ultra Premium Collection is a steal for 126? Lance, that's a great question. It's so funny you said that, Lance. In my video that I made yesterday where I talked about the strangest product, originally is what I said, but then I said the most slept on. I actually almost made a video about that. And that was going to be one of the items. I thought about also putting it as an honorable mention. Do I think that version is good? Yeah, I think it's a great version, especially considering, I forgot, wasn't it retailing for 90? But I also love the Sword and Shield Premium Plus boxes too. I mean, obviously the value has started to go up over time. You know, you're talking about it was going for at $1.59, but I think the retail value of this is $60. So you're still getting it for not that much higher. And this is a very slept on product considering what you're in it for. So I definitely think there's an argument to be made with these kind of trainer box pluses could do really well over time. So that's a great point out personally, Lance. What's up, SDC? How's it going, brother? Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully all is well with you. Pika, what do you mean when you say getting the distributor ordered number you're getting for Astral? Basically, my distributor tells me that, hey, here's your allocation numbers of what amount of product you should be expecting, because I can't just order as much as I want. I am basically given a certain amount, and that is the given amount that I am allowed to receive. I can try and request more, and if I can get more, great. But basically, what most of the time happens is to say, here's how many booster boxes you're getting based off of what we got from our numbers from the Pokemon company. So it's kind of a bummer how it works that way. I wish it was different, but will there ever be a time to get a Hidden Fates ETB? Yeah, honestly, probably the best time is right now, Nick, if you can get it for that 130, 140 price point. So Hidden Fates ETBs have been stagnant for the past 6, 7, 8 months now even. I mean, it's insane how stagnant they've been. And for a set as amazing as Hidden Fates, you got to say to yourself, why has it been so stagnant? I mean, look at this price action on a set like this. When it's stagnant, that's usually showing you that it's a really good time to get in, because eventually this is going to go side, 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 boom. And that's when you're going to really wish you got in when it was going sideways. What up? Welcome back, Agent. Appreciate you stopping back. So much of it was printed and only Zard has some value, but it's fun to open. Which set specifically? Chevals. Start one, bro. You're amazing. You would amazingly do great and super successful. Hey, I appreciate that, Justin. Hey, if I could do it and I could be successful, that'd be awesome. So it cost a lot of liquidity, but I definitely hope so. What's what's up to you too, brother? With WotC 9, 10 slabs being higher in price, do you see 7.5s and 0.5 watts slabs being more desirable, making them decent investments currently? Nope, not at all. And here's my argument for that, why I shut that down so quickly, John, is because I think you saw a huge influx of junk slabs during this, market pandemic where everyone was opening up their old collections and going through their binders and basically seeing a lot of their old product that they had in 7.5, 8.5 conditions. And so I definitely think that you could see value of them go up over time, but the amount of suppression they're going to be getting from the odds of those card grades being pulled higher than the 9s and 10s, it's going to make it a really hard argument for you to see the value of those cards going up as extremely high compared to the 9s and 10s, personally speaking. Agent, were you trolling, right? I flipped around 25k in Pokemon product now. I own a 25k product. Hey, shout out to you, J-Fun. Hey, man, you made the money. Shout out to you. Yeah, for the same price, I'd rather get, 100% agree, Pika. You skipped my question before, but do you think there'll ever be a reprint for Hidden Fates? No, I don't think there will be. Did I skip your... No, I didn't skip it. Did I skip it? Or did you ask that and I went out of order? No, I don't think there will be. I definitely answered it. Maybe it... Oh, I'm sorry if it didn't seem, but I definitely answered it. I don't think there will be, no. I feel it's much harder making profit off a Japanese product unless you get in really early. 1000% agree with you, Koga. That's why I say, historically speaking, long-term Japanese product on average tends to go up higher, but the premium for entry, if you don't get in right away, is a lot higher. My sealed ES ETB got a dent in the top from the corner during shipping. Thoughts on value? I mean, it depends how much of a dent. If it's just a slight dent, you're fine. If it's a massive dent, like it's going to cause a huge amount of concern, it could see a decent drop off in value. But I do see a lot of product for ETBs getting dents in them, and doesn't hurt the value that much. What do you think about the 25th anniversary golden Japanese box? I think it's a really cool box. I think that, as I've mentioned with most Japanese product, Pokemon Company does things a lot differently, and I think if you're going to get in, you're not going to really see a lot cheaper value unless demand over time goes down. And I think it's a really cool box to collect and invest in long term. I like that one, and then I also like the Japanese art promos with the Cramorant. Some of the cool collectible boxes that we saw within the past year, the stamp promo, if those are when people are wondering which one I'm referencing. But that Gem Eevee box price does make sense since it's limited while including 2 Eevee Hero booster boxes and the Espeon of all promos. I mean, no, I agree. Yeah, Koga, lots of value with 2 booster boxes in the Espeon promo I've seen. Yeah, all right. They're going back and forth. They're going back and forth. They're going back and forth. Hello, what's up, Gavi? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Just got here. Did you finish the top 10 product yet? I missed it. Oh, Evo. So as far as it goes, Evo, thanks for stopping by. So basically what I do is, the reason why I title it top 5 product is because I literally just take yesterday's video and I just title it this way and then say Q&A, because I don't typically get time to answer your guys' questions or comments that you leave, because I'm super busy all the time. And so this is kind of me answering the questions from yesterday's video, is basically why I title it the way it is. So if you actually want to go through, you can go and watch yesterday's video that I posted on our channel, and I already went through the top 5. If you have questions about that, you're welcome to ask it during this live stream. We've got about another hour or so until we end the live stream. But yeah, and I mean, if you don't want to watch the full video, which you can, I always do main point wrap-ups at the end of the video, and I just speed through in a minute or 2 minutes. So if you don't want to watch the full 20-minute video, then just click at the end in my chapters of main points, and you'll be able to watch the whole thing in a minute or 2 minutes. So Chevels was talking about Shining Fates. Can I not read, Chevels? Is that what's wrong with me right now? Oh, Chevels. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, 100% Chevels. You're right. Some of it just... So sorry about that. That's the set you're referencing. So much of it is printed only this artisan value, but it's fun to open. Yep, now 100% agree with you on Chevels. Yeah, definitely 100% agree with you on Shining Fates. I think the shinies will do well long term because kids like baby shinies, and kids that grew up in this era with the baby shinies will probably enjoy it long term. But Brian, thoughts on the Poncho Pikachu card? I just bought a PSA 10 Poncho Pikachu Rayquaza. Beautiful, just like you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Brian. Thank you, brother. I mean, oh, God, is okay. So for those people that ask me questions, I would say for 90% of what people have asked me so far about Japanese product, a lot of you guys are talking about modern Japanese product, and I would say probably around the same answer for most of it. I think the Poncho Pikachu gained a ton of value for a reason. I think it's a really cool card. I think it's a very desirable card. Pikachu promos for a while were very much undervalued. It finally got its love, and then once it did get its value, of course, or once it didn't get its love, it obviously was recognized in market value. So I think it's a cool card. I think it'll do well long term. Japanese promos, I think, are cards that are the ones that you can find niches of, are pretty slept on. Of course, once the market really finds out about these cards is when you see the value of them really pop up. But also at the same exact time, if the card itself never finds that kind of value because it doesn't become a collectible promo, because it's not one of those main cards, Pikachu and Rayquaza obviously being a very popular set of cards, it gives it that value and that recognition for those people that do like to collect those items. So I think you got a good pickup on your hands personally. Hi Pokemart, thanks so much for the hey, not financial advice, not financial advisor, Joey. Let's get that straight. I'm just a nerd talking about Pokemon, and I happen to know a decent amount of it. Not financial advice. What's up, Sarah? Oh, good night. Are you heading off? Well, thanks for stopping by, Sarah. I appreciate you. One thing I did want to say is all right, so for those people that are also wondering and would like to partake, we've done 65 votes so far. What booster box do you want us to open? For those people that don't know, first off, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and be subscribed if you aren't already subscribed to the YouTube channel. We do weekly giveaways each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. To enter, of course, just leave a like, be subscribed, and comment, like I said, on any of those videos. We announce our winners on Mondays. Each winner, we have 3 winners altogether, gets 8 Brilliant Star booster packs. Once we hit 500 subs, it'll go to 12 booster packs. So, but every single Sunday, we just recently started announcing that we're going to be doing breakers, where we're going to be going back and we're going to be opening up old product, and that we think that you guys would really enjoy for us to open. Of course, if you want to buy into it, you can. If you want to just watch, then just tune in Sundays at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The poll, the purpose of it is for those people that want to enter in. And as I've mentioned many times before, I will always make it cheaper than what I personally am buying it for. So as far as it goes, if I'm buying a Cosmic Eclipse booster box for, let's say, $550, I'm going to be, selling it to you guys for basically 500, divided by 36, which is how much the pack value is going to be. So I'm always going to make it more affordable for you guys. So if that is something you're interested in, you don't have to partake. If you would, then it would be greatly appreciated. But it's just my way of giving back to you guys and having an opportunity for you guys to get cheap booster box packs without having to buy a full $550 values worth. So if this Cosmic Eclipse looks like it's going to be the set to be, so I will probably make an announcement about that at some point later. So, Tolk, what do you think about Fusion Strike booster boxes long term in Darkness Ablaze 2? I think that they will do well. I think Darkness Ablaze obviously has a Charizard in it, and so it's going to have the Charizard premium with it. I mean, that's the argument I always make in regards to sets that have Charizards. Charizard is just such a, premium heavy card where it just holds so much value long term. And then you take a look at a set like Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike has a lot of the main character cards that I do think will hold up in their value long term. And by that, I mean, they'll just carry the set. I think that you have, the Gengar, you've got the Espeon, you've got the Mew, and of course, having such strong cards, or just strong main 3 character cards, I think that it will be very strong long term. The only thing I would say as to why it's not doing so strong right now is because it was kind of engulfed around sets such as, literally, you had Evolving Skies, then Celebrations, then Fusion, and then Brilliant Star. It is literally centered around the top 3 sets within the Sword and Shield era. So it just kind of got singled out because of that. So I think it just, people got wallet fatigue because they spent so much money on Celebrations and Evolving Skies, and then they heard about Brilliant Star bringing back character rares, and then immediately people were like, well, I gotta save up now for Brilliant Stars. So it just didn't get the love that it deserved for that reason. So I think Fusion Strike will do well, and Darkness Ablaze as well will do well because it does have the Charizard premium on it. So, but Alex's algorithm comment, appreciate that, brother. But yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of just my personal opinion on both the booster boxes. So, but all right, it looks like, wow, I already caught up to everyone's questions. That is incredible. So holy moly, I can't believe I did that. I have never done that before. I'm usually so behind. So shout out to you guys that have answered all the questions, and shout out to everyone once again for stopping by. Then I guess I will just go into random question. I will not say it out loud, but I will say I would go with the former Koga. I like the first one. Just a little bit more, Koga. Just a little bit more. Why isn't GameStop Celebrations Memories B performing as well as Lance's Charizard? Are you referencing... I want to make sure that I'm looking at this correctly. Are you talking about this box? Oh, why isn't it performing as well as Lance's Charizard? I think the reason why, and I could be wrong about this, I think the reason why it's not performing as well is purely, could be wrong about this, but I think it purely just comes down to the fact of the matter that it comes with the Sylveon, and it also card, and it comes with the Sylveon pin. If this was a Charizard pin, and also as well, if the premium, there wasn't a premium being paid for this set, I think then it would perform better. But when you're talking about, especially GameStop, which GameStop already charges premiums on Pokemon product. But if you say, okay, it's got 4 celebrations, booster card packs, right? And then we take a look at Lance's Charizard. Well, Lance's Charizard, what does it have in it? Lance's Charizard, it also has 4 celebrations packs. So if you're telling me that you're going to not only get rid of all the Sylveon product, which obviously Sylveon, boxes have performed not nearly as well. I mean, you look at the value of Sylveon compared to Lance's Charizard, and they came out around the same time. They're around the same product. And the value you're getting from the Lance's Charizard, of course, because once I've mentioned before, it's a Charizard item, you're getting the same amount of packs, and you're paying more for something that people don't want. It's not going to perform as well because people want the Charizard. It's just it. Dark Sylveon, it's a cool box, but it's not a Charizard. So people are going to want to pick that a lot more because of the Charizard. Wow, I just got a ton of questions all of a sudden. Thanks for the feedback, Tolk. Yeah, of course. Do you think a RoboClash reprint would ever be possible? I think if we're going to see a RoboClash reprint, Tolk, it's going to happen within the next couple of months because it's going to go out of rotation in the standard format come August after Worlds, and Pokemon doesn't typically do reprints for sets once they've gone out of standard rotation for competitive play. So if it doesn't happen in the next 3 months, then it's less than likely. Webs, what's up, Eli? Working from home, but saw you're live and had to join. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for stopping by. I have to believe you have some sort of economic background just hearing you speak, self-taught or school. A little bit of both. My dad was the VP of client sales at a large marketing firm, and I literally would, he would literally, because I was homeschooled after I was done with school, or days off, when my mom would be at home and work, my dad would just take me to work, and they had kind of a game room for when my dad's employees had time off, like one of the coolest game rooms I've ever been into. It was a really cool company that my dad loved working for, but and so basically I would just be chilling there throughout the day when I was a little kid, and a lot of the times I would be around a lot of huge business heads and be able to pick their brains and ask them questions about economic stuff. And this is me at 5 or 6 years old. So I was just basically able to get such a large experience from, large, like these people are extremely wealthy individuals. So I just got blessed by being able to grow up around such smart individuals that I was able to learn from. And then over time from that, I realized the importance of finance and economics. And so I took, several years worth of economics and microeconomics classes, starting from literally middle school, because I was blessed enough to go to a school that had that opportunity all through high school. And then I originally was going to go to school for pre-law, but then I decided I don't hate myself because I met with one of our local district attorneys and he was super miserable. And I said, nope, this is not the path for me. And so I decided that I was going to do a business transfer. And I took, a ton of economic classes. And then before I decided to transfer over to Oregon State University and finish up my 2 year, I decided to drop out and start my own business. So, and it was one of those things where I was like, why am I doing this? Like, although I enjoy economics and I'm very knowledgeable in it, I feel like a lot of the stuff I'm learning, I already know, and I felt like I was wasting my time. And that's not to say that there isn't value in going to college, but I just felt like starting my own business, especially considering that that's the route my parents ended up going after they left their old company at the marketing firm. Strata Media was the name. Then it just was a route that I was like, I can do this. My parents did it. Why can't I do it as well? So that's kind of my background in regards to all my knowledge that I have for economics. Thoughts on the Charizard staff promo from Evolutions? I guess it depends on what you mean. Team Up and VV. I guess it depends on what you mean about it. I mean, they're obviously very, very, very low population report cards. I think they're do well over time. Obviously, they're super expensive though, so your percentage gain on them will probably be a lot less. But I do think them being such a low pop card will still give them a great amount of value. So they're cool cards as well because they do have the staff promos stamp on them. So I guess that's kind of my answer to that. Can't really give you a ton of information in regards to it. But cool items all around. I just don't know how much of potential long-term growth you could see it because the amount of movement that you're going to have to see in these cards being such a higher premium compared to other Charizard cards that are going to be a lot more affordable for a lot of people to collect long-term. Hey Eli, any of the more expensive booster boxes worth investing in modern, lower prices, i.e. Fates Collide? Oh, great question, Todd. I'm glad you gave that as an example. I do think Fates Collide is a great pickup right now. I do think Lost Thunder is a pretty solid pickup right now, and we can go through booster boxes right now. You said booster boxes? Yes, booster boxes. I do think Fates Collide is a great one, especially because we saw a lot of it shore up. What do you mean? Booster box. Give it to me. Load high. Sorry about that, guys. What do you mean? I do think Fates Collide is a great pick. Man, I do think that I think for Bin Lights, I think Zulu potentially has them for 250, but 300 for a set, as underrated as, for Bin Lights. I understand why a lot of people didn't like it as much, but I think it's a great pickup. I think Lost Thunder can start. I mean, look at how much Lost Thunder was going for, guys, before more products shored up on the market. I mean, almost $600, almost $600. Same thing happened with Fates Collide. So those are probably my two favorite pickups. For Ben Light, like I said, Zulu still has it for 250, a pretty good pickup. Are there any other ones that I really like that are in the more expensive range that I think are undervalued? I would say those are your kind of main three, honestly. I would say those are kind of my main three likes, personally speaking. So, because they're just so much more affordable, and for what's in the set, it's really good. Ultra Prism's not bad if you can get it for around like $320. I mean, obviously, I just went over why I like Ultra Prism so much. Wait. No. Sorry, not Ultra Prism. Oh, wait, right? Was it Ultra Prism? No, it was Ultra Prism. Yes. Yeah, obviously, I just went over why I like Ultra Prism so much. So if you can get it for closer to 300, then I do think it'll perform well. But as it pushes 400, it makes it kind of hard for me to pull the trigger. But if we're talking about just investing in more higher end booster boxes, I'd like to look for the value. And Fates Collide and Lost Thunder are my two favorite, right next to next to Light. Why can't I say it properly? Gosh dang it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm fumbling my words. Next to Forbidden Light. Yep. Makes sense things. Yeah, of course, Gibson. I think we could see 2 Evolving Skies reprints, one now and near the end of its rotation. I think that's 100% possible, and I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. Pika for B-Star singles. Better to purchase now or wait till Wave 3? Wait till Wave 3, 100%. Pika, easy answer. Obviously, you know my stance when it comes to reprints and waiting and being patient. Obviously, Evolving Skies is a little bit of an outlier in regards to that, but I mean, considering we have a pretty confident confirmation about Brilliant Star having a Wave 3 in May, I would definitely wait till May before you make any decisions. I got an ETB of Brilliant Star last night. It was a white code card, but no hits. Any ideas? Just print errors sometimes, Justin. But what do you mean it was a white code card? So the thing is, Justin, if you're talking about So the ETB itself has a white code card. That means nothing. Every single ETB has a white code card. It's the individual packs inside of them and what code cards they have. If a pack inside of it has a white code card, then it's a hit. And by hit, I mean a holo or better. And also, not to mention the fact of the matter, that's how it was with the older code cards. With the newer code cards, it's actually the black and white that is going to be more valuable than the white. The white ones are now the bad ones. So that is another thing you also want to consider. So when talking about which one's better. And so black and white is better than the white and white. I have a couple questions. Love to answer them. Goodness gracious, I don't know what's wrong with me right now. Whew, I have a couple questions regarding product I've seen in retail stores. Should I scoop up all the D21 Pokeballs since they have Cosmic? What about the Mew V-Tins? Well, the Mew V-Tins, I don't think have, and I could be wrong, and we can take a look and see what's in them. But as far as it goes, they've got Breakpoint, they've got the regular. I mean, let's just watch this. And is this volume on? We'll mute it. We'll take a look and see what's in the Mew V-Tins. But if I'm correct, the only real value item that it has in it is the Breakpoints. So it's got 2 Vivid Voltage, it's got a Sword and Shield base, and then it's got a Breakpoint. So if you're trying to say, okay, I can get this tin for like, I don't know how much you're able to get it for, but if you can get it for like, you know, below 20 bucks at your store, then I do think it's a good pickup. But if you're talking about secondhand, it's not worth it. And if you're talking about, you know, picking up the Pokeballs, I would be careful. I know that a lot of people have said they've found D21s that didn't have Cosmic. Every one that I've opened has had Cosmic, so I haven't had that experience, but there have been people that haven't. So that one you're playing a little bit more Russian roulette. But if you can get them for $20 in regards to Mews, then I think that's a good pickup, considering it does have the Breakpoint. I picked up a Mewtwo V Union box and Crimson Invasion ETB just to help complete the collection. Right on, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've got a couple of the Mewtwo V Unions. I don't have a Crimson Invasion ETB yet, but I definitely will be adding it to help onto my ETB collection. What's your opinion on an XY Evo PSA 10 Hollows? Oh, that's a great question. I think that, and we can actually take a look right now in PSA Population Report. If we take a look right now in PSA Population Report for evolutions, let's just take a look and see. Pokemon evolutions. Why is that? Here we go. Pokemon XY evolutions. Let's take a look. So if we're just talking about the general hollows, so we've got a Chansey Hollow, which has 10 in a PSA 10. Is this evolutions or is this? Yeah, this is evolutions. You've got a, where's another one? Like a Ninetales Hollow, which has 67. You've got a, where's another one? A Gyarados Hollow, which says 184. Okay, so we understand a current theme that we're seeing. So to answer your question, if you can get a 10, because that's obviously what you're talking about specifically, I do think that there is value to be found in them considering how low of a population they are. I do think that's a great point out, because obviously when we're talking about general just EX cards, the population reports are so much greatly higher. But for those people that don't remember, the Hollow 10s in this specific set were very, very hard to grade. There was a lot of issues that had it with the XY cards. So if you can get them in potential 10 pop, I do think it's worth it, personally speaking. And I do think that's a sleeper pick. Of course, we want to take a look at, let's say, like a Raichu Hollow from Evolutions, and see what the value of it's going for right now, because that's another thing you want to take a look at, is what's it going for. Obviously this is the standard reverse hollow, which is different, but you're talking about a PSA 10 hollow. That's a reverse foil. Man, I just clicked on the reverse foil again. The standard hollow, I mean, it's going for $425. I mean, that's expensive. But I mean, you gotta think to yourself, how much more is it gonna go up? But I mean, let's just talk about. Okay, let's just here. You know what we're gonna do? This is what we're gonna do. We're going to do a comparison. Let's do Gyarados Hollow, and this is a good one that we're gonna have a conversation about. Gyarados Hollow from XY PSA 10 Gem Mint, right? So the Evolutions Gyarados Hollow, and just going back to it, the Gyarados Hollow has a population of 184, right? Sold for 103 of the just regular Hollow. 84 as the 86 as the regular Hollow. That right there is crazy that it's that cheap, considering the population reports of the 10s compared to the 9s, and considering how overprinted the set was. So I do think, depending upon the one we're referencing, you could find great value in it. Let's take a look at the Ninetales Hollow. The Ninetales Hollow sold for, yeah, dude, other than the Raichu, man, it's crazy how it's going for that cheap. I think you have something on your hand, man. I do think there's an argument to be made. 67 as a PSA 10 population report. What a freaking point out, dude. Shout out to you on that, pointing this one out. I think you just found some gold here. Wow, you might be onto something. 67 and it's going for that cheap? Are you crazy? Can someone tell me what I'm seeing wrong here? I mean, we're talking, if you're buying all of these for $80, and you're saying to yourself, you're spending $5,360 to buy every single Ninetales Hollow in Evolutions. If you own every Ninetales Hollow in Evolutions, that's incredible. I mean, these are prices going back to March. So this is not like, oh my God, it's been so long. Like, this is crazy to me, dude. And you can buy it right now for $120. And you could probably offer for less. Wow, what? That's incredible, man. That is incredible. Wow, you're going to make me go buy every single one of them now. Oh my goodness gracious, that is incredible. Great point out, dude. Great point out. That's, I mean, you can see my excitement to answer your question, Agent. My top 3 graded slabs to invest in? Ooh, that's such a hard question to ask. What do you mean okay, I should ask you, when you say top 3 graded slabs, are you talking about specific cards? Are you talking about specific like grade like 9, 10, 8? Are you talking about, you know, which grading companies? Are you talking about which characters? What do you mean when you talk about that? Off topic, but do you play Pokemon Go? I used to, Brian. I used to play it heavily. And then I just got burned out because it's a very grindy game. And the burnout was just too much for me. I think I got all the way to level 35 or 36. This was back when level 40 was the cap out. And I would love doing, you know, shiny legendary raids. And it's a fun game, but I definitely burned out. But shout out to Agent Crypto again on the question. When you invest in Pokemon, do you like to put positions in it because of potential value or potential demand? Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, I would say Digi, that kind of correlates with... does it correlate with itself? It's a mix of A and B, Digi, because when you think of potential demand versus potential value, typically the value comes from the demand, but of course you could have an item that is very low print and doesn't have an extreme amount of demand, but since it's low print, it's going to have a lower supply, and so the demand will naturally be greater than the overall supply because it's so much lower. So I would say it's a little bit of A, a little bit of B. If I can find a set that's very high demand and very low population, then I think that's great. But it's a lot harder to kind of have that conversation with sealed products because it is deflationary, as in the product gets opened up more and more over time, so the value of it goes down more and more. So it really just comes down to that question in regards to single cards, which a perfect example is literally these Evolution Hollows. Why I got so excited about them, because I think that Evolutions is a high demand set, and on top of the fact that these Hollows are such low population reports, oh my goodness gracious, why are they sitting so low? That's crazy. I mean, the only ones that are high is the Raichu and obviously the Charizard. I mean, oh my goodness gracious. You gotta kind of wonder what other Hollows are in the set that, you know, okay, let's just take a look and say Evolutions Hollows. And we just go Evolutions and we just take a look and see what Hollows are in this set. So we go cards, we go high to low, and then we just go holo rare. So when talking about the holo rare cards in the set, you've got the Charizard, you've got the Mew, you've got the Zapdos, you've got the Raichu, you've got the Gyarados, you've got the Ninetales, you've got the Nidoking, and you've got the Machamp. So, and these are the holo rares. Let's take a look at the Zapdos. So the Zapdos Hollow is 246. So that's a little bit of a higher population, but 246 for Ultra Modern is actually low in the grand scheme of things. Got the Raichu. We already looked at the value of the Raichu. You've got the Poliwrath and the Chansey. Okay, we saw the Chansey. The Chansey had a very low population, and I thought I was tripping when I first saw it. So we can go back and take a look at the Chansey again. But the Chansey was sitting at like population sub 50, right? What number is Chansey? Just so I don't have to struggle on through. It's number 70. So Chansey is 70. It's 10. Population 10 for a Chansey. I mean, look at it, guys. Population 10? What? What? That's incredible. This is a population 10, and you can't even find it in last sold listings. That's incredible to me. Yo, if you can mass grade PSA 10 Chanseys, oh my god, there's your answer on how much it's going for. Yikes, guys. No wonder it's going for so much. Look at how cheap they're going for. How many are in near mint? 112? But that's near mint reverse holofoil. Let's go holofoil. I'm gonna have to do some research on some things, guys, but oh my god, this is weird, dude. This is weird. Sorry, I got into it. This is weird. That's all I can say. I mean, you're talking about your percentage odds of pulling a 10. 1108 compared to 10. I mean, you just do the math there. 10 divided by 1108 equals, I mean, 0.009, which is literally about 1% chance, you know? I don't know, man. I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. I got a little ahead of myself. Webs, I found them at Walmart, so they're retail price. I opened one Pokeball and got 2 Rebel Clash instead of Cosmic. Oh, Webs, that's so upsetting. I'm sorry about that, my guy. I know Mew tends to have crazy packs, but would keeping it in my seal collection be worth it, or should I just invest in more ETBs? I don't think it's a bad pick. If you can get it for $20, considering it's already almost double that at MSRP, then I definitely think it's worth it. All of them in each pack have ripped 40 booster boxes, 20 ETBs. Never seen this, only in Shining Fates. Well, Shining Fates is a little bit different, Justin, because Shining Fates obviously had different code cards. So Shining Fates always gave you white code cards. So, but it's a completely different set, which is why I think you're seeing that. Costs like 50 to grade now, though. I 100% agree, Fight Scout, but I do think long-term speaking, you're going to see the value of grading go down. So when it does, when there is an opportunity to grade, and you're going to be sitting on 100, 200, 300 of these cards and hollows, and you just go send them in, mass grade, hope to pull that 10. I mean, just saying. But, you know, obviously it's a risk. But thoughts on Celebrations Pikachu V Union boxes, and if favorable, what's a good target price to buy in at? I mean, they're pretty cheap. It depends. Are you talking about the playmat ones or the non-playmat ones? I mean, literally, you can probably find the non-playmat ones going for around $20, which is MSRP. So I would say, personally speaking, just MSRP is a good price. So if you're talking about the non-playmat ones, wait, did you see the premium ones? Thoughts on Celebrations Pikachu V Union box? No, you didn't say premium. You just said the Pikachu V Union. Yeah, I mean, get them for 20, dude. 20 is a great price, Pikachu, and I think they'll do well. Thanks for confirming my stance on ETB. Bro, you are... Oh my god, Agent. You did not more than just confirm your stance. No one TG cards, VV, Star, or regular Not one. TG card. V-Star, V-Star Mac, a regular hollow. I mean, Justin, you're opening from, what did you say, an elite trainer box? So, yeah, I mean, that's not unlikely to happen. You got 8 packs. You've got 8 packs in it. There's no guarantee you're going to get a V. I mean, it's unfortunate, it's unlucky, but it does happen sometimes. And I do feel bad for you, but if it makes you feel any better, I've opened a build and battle case before, which a build and battle comes with, or not a case, but a build and battle box that had 12, which comes with 12 packs instead of 8, and I opened and got 0 pulls. So I've had that bad luck before, and that was in Brilliant Star. That's one of the reasons why I despise Brilliant Star's pull rates, because I've had nothing but terrible pull rates on them. And also, one is going to be submitting more hauls because the 9s are so cheap. Yeah, no, agree, dude. I think you pointed something out, Agent. Shout out to you again. Digismith TCG, it's more expensive to grade the cards in XY Evolutions than it is to buy it PSA 10. No, and that's the thing, Digi. I 100% agree with you on all, and I 100% agree on what everyone's saying. That's the thing, though, Digi, is why I think there's an argument to be made of why these cards are so slept on. Because if you're telling me right now, for the cards that are in very low population reports, right, you're talking about the I mean, we just went over this, right? If you're talking about the Ninetales that you can buy for this cheap, if you're talking about the, what was the other one we just looked at? Gosh dang it. Evolutions Hollows. So going back to Evolutions, goodness gracious. Going back to Hollow Rares. So if you're talking about the Gyarados, if you're talking about the Ninetales, if you're talking about these cards that are very low population report, right? And you're going to be able to buy the full population and walk away with spending less than 10K, that is extremely incredible to me, especially considering how high of demand the evolution set is, and these hollows will do well long term considering the low population report. So to your argument, there's a counter argument to be made, but also a pro argument to be made. The pro argument to be made to start is, for why it's a good idea, is one, if you can buy up a full population, you own the population control on the set and you decide. Literally, it's like buyouts, but literally PSA buyouts. And to be able to have such minimal amount of capital and be able to buy out all these cards for so cheap, I think that's incredible. And I think that this is going to be the new standard for base set for the modern era. So that's just incredible. That's just crazy to me. And then when you're talking about, okay, well, what about, you know, when they open up and let's say hypothetically they go down to $10, then obviously there's a completely different argument to be made. But that's where I would say to myself, okay, cards such as Chansey and Raichu, where you're able to get these cards, and more specifically Chansey. I mean, if you can buy these Chanseys for like $1, and what's a Chansey Hollow Evolutions PSA 9 go for? I mean, that's another question you got to ask yourself. So the PSA 9, I mean, obviously the PSA 9 itself is selling for it's selling for not that much. So it's hard to really play the game because you're banking on that 10. You are banking on that 10. And so it's definitely worth it to buy up the cards that are already graded at such a cheaper value than it is to go in and mass grade. But if, of course, you say, let's say that they open up grading company, the PSA goes back to $10 a piece, right? You're saying $10 a piece, cost you $1 to buy, and then once you average percentages of how much you're paying for insurance and shipping, it's an extra, I don't know, like $1, $2 a card. If you're hitting 9s, you're making your money back. And if you're hitting a 10, you hit the jackpot and just made several K off of it, especially on a card like Chansey, which has such a low population. So I do think there's a strategy to be made if it opens up. But then, of course, the argument will be made of, well, now that it's opened up, are people going to be doing this with the Ninetales and Gyarados? Only time will tell on that, but being able to control the current market demand for items such as the Ninetales and the Gyarados, which should not be as undervalued as they are currently for how the population is, it's definitely a fun one to have a conversation about, that's for sure. I heard Evolving Skies reprints coming mid-April. Where'd you hear that from, Alex? I would love to hear your sources on that so I could make a... I mean, I love making videos about it, so I always ask for sources. The Mewtwo tin should have Burning Shadows. I got a couple opened. That's a good point. That's a good thing to mention to Fresh. I think it's probably... There's different print runs of it, so... I know a lot of people were talking about, like, the V tins from Battle Styles having some of them at Guardians Rising, but some of them at Celestial Storm, depending upon the print. I have 2 master sets and about 7 to 10 of each top 5 cards of Evolution Halls are amazing. So are the Secret. Yeah, dude, it's something different, that's for sure. The reason why they're so cheap is because the base set haulers are cheap on the decline as well. PSA 10 Unlimited Ninetales is like 500, so therefore the XY counterpart is only $100. Yeah, I think that 100% makes sense, Agent. And when you're talking about the fact of the matter that you're going to be able to buy the base set Unlimited for so cheap, you're saying to your... I mean, let's take a look at base set Unlimited, actually. That's another question we want to ask ourselves. So if we go base set, if we go Pokemon base set, if we go Pokemon base set Unlimited, right? Where is Pokemon? Let's just say a Pokemon base set, right? If we just say Pokemon base set, right? 1999 Pokemon trading card game. So if we're just talking about the standard... Which one do we want to look at? Gyarados. Let's look at Gyarados, for example, right? Gyarados is number... What number is Gyarados? Why are we not finding Gyarados? So the Gyarados population report is 440. The Ninetales population report is 397 for Unlimited. And if you're saying to yourself, you can get a Ninetales for $560, versus the English version, you can get it for $650. I don't know, man. It's a hard argument to make. It's definitely a hard argument to make for sure. So, but they're so much cheaper in the XY version. So here's my argument to be made with it, Agent. Obviously, we're in a market right now where the demand for this product has gone down so much over time, and we can do a full breakdown video on Poké Market Cap. Poké Market Cap. I need to start answering people's questions, though. I'm starting to lose people here. I do apologize before we get into this. There's a lot of Chansey scratches on the Hollow, the full arts, but in the basics, yeah. Hoarding base set for 20 years and then opening them all is the reason XY is worth nothing. XY Charizard is worth half of the Zard V alt art. I mean, the V alt art, to be fair, is really easy to get in a PSA 10 population. What do you think of Celebration's Pikachu figure collection? Is $38 a piece? That's a pretty good price tag, I would say so. Do you think there is any validity to think there are low pops for non-chase cards, PSA 10s, because grading prices are so high, only grading expensive chase cards? Yeah, 100% Webs. I mean, you can literally see that as we speak in a lot of the ultra modern sets, such as like Chilling Reign. I mean, Chilling Reign is one of those sets that, you know, came out shortly after you had the kind of closure of PSA, and because of that, There's such a low population. So I think there's an argument to be made with that. But Evolutions has been around for a while, and a lot of people sent in Evolutions product, and you can see that with the PSA 9s. That it's not like people weren't attempting, versus if you look at, sets such as Chilling Reign, a lot of people were attempting. So just shows how trash Evolution's print run quality, Koga? There is a point to be made with that. There was a big concern. Yeah, I opened a Fusion Strike build in battle and got 0 pulls as well. So mad. Yeah, dude, have been, Evolutions is reprinted. I got a pack in $10 mini tins this year from Walmart. Yeah, but that's not that it's reprinted. You're just able to find older product that has Evolutions product in it, which I've been able to find. The only thing we've had any sort of questioning in regards to reprints of is the Evolution ETBs. Slept on for sure, official says. This doesn't mean it's a reprint. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Ever since I heard TNC had pop 10 for PSA, I've been lurking for a while trying to find one. Yeah, dude, that's crazy to me. I guess you can look at the percentages of PSA 10s compared to the rest of the grades for cards to see if it's truly hard to grade to a 10. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we literally just did that with the Chansey. It's a 1% chance. Buying some Evolving Sky sleeve boosters at $4 or wait for reprint, go for booster box to start building position. I mean, that's a great question, Austin. I would say, Austin, $4 is a really good price to get these sleeve blisters at. So I think you're actually getting them in at a steal of a price, personally speaking. And then also waiting for the reprints is not a bad play either. But if you can get them for $4, I mean, what is the sleeve blister value for Evolutions? Let's take a look on that. God, I hate allergy season. I'm so sorry, guys. I am so sneezy, and I can't believe I haven't sneezed yet. I mean, the blister packs are going for, yeah, dude, $4, and they're going for $6. Yeah, dude, that's a great price. That's a great price, dude. I'd buy that if you can right now. Why would an Evolutions pack be in a new tin if it's not a new print? Well, because mini tins are not new. It depends which mini tin you're referencing. They had Galar tins that have Evolutions in, and the Galar tins came out in 2020, start of 2020. So if that's the one you're talking about. MVP mentioned there may reprint in April. Love to hear about that, Edwin. If someone wants to shoot me over a source on the Discord. Pokemon Company throws leftovers in tins. Yep. Yep. What's up, Hung? Hi, Eli. Meet your live chat. Hey, appreciate you stopping by. Any chance Champions Path and Hidden Fates are going to reprint? Highly doubt it that Hidden Fates will get a reprint because it's out of rotation. It's not a competitively viable set, so very unlikely. Champions Path, on the other hand, does have a possibility because it's right before it goes out of rotation, which is in August. Do I think it's possible? It's unlikely because it's not a card, because the only competitively viable cards in it were Marnie and Boss's Orders, and considering they've done multiple prints of Marnie and Boss's Orders in other sets, same with the Crobat, it makes it less likely for them to want to do a large reprint of it. So it's unlikely, but it is possible. So, but I would rule Hidden Fates out more than Champions Path. Thanks for helping the advice. Have a good one, Eli. You too, Brian. Appreciate you as always. Pretty sure Evolving and Shining Fates are getting screwed this year. Evolutions and Evolving. I mean, what do you mean getting screwed? I think Shining Fates has been doing great, considering the fact of the matter that you can get in at MSRP, which is awesome. I bought a few cases and wondering, should I wait until September to get more? I'm getting CP at 80 and Hidden Fates at 130. You're crazy, bro. Getting them at 80 and 130, buy them. Not financial advice, not financial advisor, but that's a great price to get them at, personally. Anime Boy, hi, I'm new. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Anime Boy. Shout out to you for stopping by. Hopefully all is well with you. What do you think about those prices? Those prices are amazing, dude. Those prices are amazing. Here's what I would do if I were you there, Hung. I would buy right now, if you're talking about which one should I pick up more of. Hidden Fates at 130. Like I said, less likely for a reprint, so 130 is a great price to get Hidden Fates at. CP potentially could get a reprint, but even then, 80 is such a good price. It's hard for me to really believe that they would get a reprint, so I'm going to say if you can, oh my god, if you want to be patient and you know you can get them at 80 right now, you can be patient and wait till they go out of rotation and just load up on Hidden Fates. But if you're saying to yourself, I feel like there's a less likely of a chance on Champions Path, you can pick up a couple, but I would allocate more to Hidden Fates personally, especially considering how good it'll be. To me, base and limit is a bit taboo. Hey, what's up, Purple? Thanks for stopping by. What do you mean by that, though? The print runs are pretty insane, and I feel like that attrition was low in the grand scheme of 25-year sets. I understand what you mean. PVG, hey, what's up, PVG? Amelia, running a Monopoly. Yeah, right, dude. Legit, dude. Running a Monopoly. You got to look at the year of the tins. You could, yep. Tyrone Smith, do you think getting Astral Radiance for 105 booster box is a good price for opening? I do not know. I would say that it sounds like a great price right now, but we don't know what's in the set yet. So it's really hard to say. We haven't gotten any sort of reveal in regards to the second half of whatever Astral Radiance is going to include. So when we do see whatever cards are going to be in it, then that'll obviously answer your question. But it's really hard to say. But if you can get in at 105, Tyrone, before the set is even released, that's usually a really good pre-order price. So I would lean more towards it probably is a good price, but we don't know at the end of the day. I'm at Pokemon Machine right now. Celebrations, ETBs, Evolving Skies, and Brilliant Star ETBs. What should I get? 10 plus of each. I mean, if you can get Celebrations ETBs for $50 Evolving... Well, what do you mean by that? What are your prices, Michael? That it really comes down to what your prices are you're getting them for. Sad. Is there a Zard promo in the Champions Path ETB? I can't remember. Yes? Yeah, there is. Woo! Is there a Champions Path promo in the Champions Path ETB? I don't know. You tell me, bro. Do I think that there are any? Sorry, I probably am manipulating the market right now by just showing that. I don't know, bro. You tell me. The answer to your question is yes. And I like it. I think it's going to do really well. So, yeah, there are. And they're beautiful. I love it. I love them. I think they're sick. So, oh my god, that's so freaking goofy. What's up, Spencer? How's it going, brother? I'm doing well. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Evolving Skies sleeve boosters are $3.99 on Pokemon Center. That's kind of dumb, Steven. What? Really? That's dumb. Why are they up there for that cheap and no one's buying them? Really? What? No way. That's crazy, dude. That's so stupid. Why? Just why? $4? What? Huh? 43. Okay, let's do some math here. 43 divided by 8 is 537. So you take that. Actually, let's do 43 times 0.85 divided by minus 4. 32 divided by 8. It's pretty tough. There isn't really much money to be made if you were to go over there after fees with TCG Player. But if you get them, if you can sell more of them, that's a great price. But that's still cheap, dude. Michael, do the Evolving Skies Celebrations is cheaper. If this Michael, do Evolving Skies unless yeah, I agree with that, DeFresh. Or Origin from Palkia and Origin from Dialga, V-Star, and Astral. What do you mean by that, DeFresh? Are they in? Have they officially been released? I still haven't heard anything about it for Astral Radiance. Make your Raymond Zard promo cards? Yeah, right. Can I see your personal? What do you mean by that, PPG? I just bought 20 ES sleeve boosters off of PC earlier today. Not a bad pickup considering that they're still up there. That's kind of crazy to me. Will Champions Path ETBs drop or should go ahead and buy? Justin, here's my personal opinion on it. If there is not a reprint for it by sometime within the next couple of months before Worlds happens, then I would basically, then you're talking about that's your opportunity to buy afterwards. Otherwise, you know, I would personally hold off until it leads up to Worlds because there is a possibility of a reprint. As it gets closer and closer, then you can make a better argument for, hey, it's not going to get a reprint a month before Worlds. But who knows? Pokemon companies all over the place right now. I would say probably May is your indicator. Once you hit June, then you're probably a lot better of a kind of foresight on go ahead and being able to know if Champions Path is going to get a reprint. And if it doesn't, then I would say go ahead. Every time I place an order from PC, I grab like 5 of the ESs. I mean, not dude, that's crazy to me considering the value of, you know, there is a premium. Of course, there's not as huge of a premium because, you know, these packs aren't weighable as much anymore. But PSA 10 population on that promo Zard is about to hit 20,000. Yeah, Raheem, it's a pretty high population report. I 100% agree with you. but not the BGS population report. I mean, it's dumb, dude. It's dumb. Here, let's go with actually the Champions Path. We'll take a look at that. So, because I've looked this up before, and I've actually done a video discussion on it. So, if we talk Champions Path, right, and we just talk about Champion Path Charizard, I wonder if it'll pop up. So, the Black Star promo for the Champions Path Charizard. Yeah, so the ETB Champions Path Charizard population report 20,000, which is incredibly high. Let's go to Beckett though. So if we go to Beckett and we go to the BGS population report, do I have to log in and really show it? Gosh dang it. All right, so without showing it, because I don't want to have to do the full login rigmarole, if we just go right now and we just go Charizard Hollow, Charizard full art. Let me go Black Label 10. So the 2020 Pokemon Black Star label. If you look at the population report on this card, it's actually pretty low. I can't remember the exact like population report, but I know that it was at its last sale. It's been a while since it looks like it's sold because there's so many in the PSA population. But I remember the last time it sold for around $2,000. And if you talk about, and if we just talk about Beckett, and now obviously Beckett grades a lot harsher, but if you just talk about what the value you can get off of this with Beckett grading, why is it not even popping up, bro? It's not even popping up. You can't even find Beckett graded cards because the population for PSA is so freaking saturated. Why is it so freaking saturated, man? I can't even find it, dude. I legit can't even find it. But yeah, no, here's my biggest thing with the Charizard and the reason why I like them so much. The population report on the Charizard for PSA is extremely high, but as you can see, as it stands right now, there is very little in Beckett. And if you actually go and look at a lot of the recently sold listings that did pop up, which of course they're not even available anymore, they were selling for around for the 10s 150 plus, and that's not the am I spelling Beckett wrong maybe? No, I'm spelling Beckett right. And that was the PSA 10s, not the pristine Black Label PSA 10s. That was just the pristine ones. So for me, the reason why I do think that there's value to be graded in them is, once again, going back to Beckett. I think Beckett is going to hold the premiums for these cards because if it were to be at the same level price as you were able to grade for, of course, that's the argument here. There's no argument to be made right now if you're talking about current prices. But if you were to go to Beckett, and you were basically able to grade these PSA cards, or sorry, these Charizard cards, right? If you were to say, all right, I was grading these at $15 a piece, got the subgrades. Let's say that I averaged 9.5s and 10s, right? And if I was lucky enough after sending 200 of these in, I got one Black Label. The one Black Label in and of itself is going to cover the cost of all of your expenses. And then you have extra value off the 9.5s and the 10s. And if you're saying to me right now that I open, I send in 200, 300, and these are straight from the box, there's an odd that one of them is going to hit a Black Label. Like, you can't tell me that at 200 or 300, especially when you actually look at the population report. In the PSA, I can't show it to you right now. I've shown it to more before on stream, but the percentage that you hit one of those Black Labels if you send 200 to 300 is pretty high. And if you even hit just a decent amount of 10s, the 10 value If you're saying I'm buying these for $5 and then I'm grading them for 15 and the 10 hits 150 to 160 plus, I mean, that's a great value. Obviously speaking right now with the overall prices of what it costs to grade, it's a completely different argument. But that's why I'm banking on the fact that you could see cheaper prices. And even if they raise it to $25, then you could still see a good premium value off of Beckett at the end of the day. So, but either that or I'm just sitting on cards, promo cards that I do think will do, decent over time. Because if you take a look at some of the other, more desirable, promos, such as like the Shining Ho-Oh, such as the Glass Stain Birds, I mean, they did well before their reprints. So that's kind of how I look at it. But I'm more of a Beckett grader in regards to these, ultra moderns. I've talked about that in depthly on my channel before. So, pretty sure you saw pics of the new V-Stars to Fresh. I would love for you to link it. That'd be great. Have an alternate Goatler. That's so funny. What are your thoughts on the Evolution VMAX Premium Collection boxes? I think they're great, Len. They're one of my top picks for the year. I think they will perform super strong. Hung says, last question about Australians. My seller said the distributors receive about 40 to 50% of their allocation. Anything you heard from your distributor? I was lucky to secure a few cases at 540. What do you mean they received 40 to 50% of their allocation? Do you mean they received 40 to 50% less, or they received 40 to 50% of what they should expect to receive? What do you mean by that, Hung? And then I'll answer it. Yo, want to know a slept on set? Crystal cards. Look up Astral Radiance Dialga. Crystal cards. You think crystal cards are slept on? But a lot of the crystal cards are extremely expensive. You want to point out which ones in specific, Len, that we can take a look at? Look up Astral Radiance Dialga. Okay. I'm not seeing it, man. It's not popping up. If this is the one you're referencing, that was a month ago, and those are not the secret rare versions. So I don't know which one you're referencing. I can almost never find BGS 10 cards on eBay. Yeah, Koga, and when they're up there too, they sell. That's the funny thing. Do you think Beckett holds the premium over PSA in general? It depends. If you're talking 10 to 10, yes, it does. Especially for ultra modern. Beckett has really started to increase its value. I get it, but lots of people have the same ideas. Easy to grade cards. As soon as Beckett opens bulk pricing, many people have the same idea. And you could be 100% right about that, Raheem. Like, no doubt about it. Like, you could legit be 100% right. People have the same exact idea about doing that exact same thing. The only counter argument I would say to that is that if that were necessarily true, then why didn't people do that with Hidden Fates? You look at the population report, Raheem, with Hidden Fates and the overall price of what you were able to buy Hidden Fates cards at the time versus what you were able to grade it for at $15 a pop, and how when you look at the population reports for just the Beckett 10s, not even the Black Label 10s, there's such a low population report of graded Hidden Fates, and Hidden Fates was one of those sets that got a reprint right before, literally right before they decided to close their doors for PSA and Beckett. So that's my only counter argument to that would be, why haven't people been, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, you still take a look at Beckett compared to PSA. PSA has just way higher population grading than Beckett. So although there's an argument to be made that people have that same idea, then why weren't people doing it literally right before they closed their doors? So that's my only thing to that, of that's possible, but we haven't seen that happen. So, but of course, anything not Black Label will get wrecked. What about Pristine 10s? I think Pristine 10s are going to do well, though. I think 9.5s you can make an argument getting wrecked, but also wrecked in price value compared to how much you're paying for grades is really what it comes up to. GMSA not a top grader? No, definitely not. GMA is definitely not a top grader. It's CGC, PSA, and Beckett, BGS. Kind of feel we'll never go down to old bulking prices. There's too many people in the hobby, not just old Pokemon. Sorry. All right. Sorry. I guess the chases are a mystery. No, you're all good, dude. Don't worry about it. Those are just the standard ones. We're still waiting for the chases. We'll know within the next couple of days to fresh. I kind of, I mean, Vegas, I don't think that's, I mean, we could be wrong, Vegas. I don't know if it'll go down to those prices. I think what'll happen is if the price of grading is too expensive and you don't see demand for it, then yeah, then I definitely see the prices going down. But if there's a massive demand for people paying $50 for an economy grading, then yeah, I think that's a true statement. But then what'll happen is the cards that are getting graded at 50 a pop, you'll start to see the value of them just be kind of factored in, or you might see lower population reports on certain cards. It's one of the two. So, and at some point the value will have to be factored in, because people are not going to want to pay so much to get a card graded unless they can guarantee at least a 9 or a 10, and even that, the 9 is just so that they can get their money back. Sorry, I meant to say there are short printed from sources. My sellers are being allocated 50% of their usual numbers. A few sellers says it's possible they're focused on other things Pokemon Go. Hung, I'm so glad that you're telling me this, Hung. I had the exact same thing happen to me. I literally got my allocation numbers for Astral Radiance, and it was 50% less of what I got from Brilliant Star. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that to me, because that was something that scared the crap out of me as well. And I'm probably going to make a video about it on Wednesday, really talk about what are people talking about. Or what's the Pokemon company doing, because that is very concerning, to say the least, on what they're doing. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a real mystery. It's a real mystery in regards to what the kind of thing that's going to happen with PSA, CGC, Beckett grading, what their prices are going to be. Everything's so speculative. I'm making speculative risks. And not to mention the fact of the matter, guys, if you're telling me you're buying these at $5 a pop, and maybe this is just my mindset, if I'm buying these at $5 a pop, that's such a cheap price to be buying Charizard, alternate art, hollows, even if they're just promos. And so even if, let's say, the value of Beckett doesn't go back to $15, doesn't go back to $20, $25 at a low, then that's okay. I'm, saying this is $500 worth of Pokemon cards. To me, that's not a lot, but that's just because that's my budget. When you're telling me that I'm allocated, several thousands of dollars, in tens of thousands of dollars in other sealed area, and I'm just taking a risk by putting in $500 on potentially a really nice return if they were to open up again, then that's okay by me, because the risk in which I'm taking is a lot lower because the amount of money that I'm spending. So it's just it was just something that I thought, hey, if it happens, I'm able to get these at a dirt cheap price, especially considering Champion's Path hasn't gotten that reprint, and we had Wave 1 and Wave 2 just come out right back to back. And so if it does go out of rotation before it gets a reprint, then you could see the value of the hollows go up a lot faster. Or sorry, the promo hollows go up a lot faster than what people are thinking, regardless of whether it's going to be highly graded, just the individual raw ones. So that's just why I like the cards themselves so far, because I feel like there's a good risk to reward ratio. Could be wrong, but at the end of the day, my risk ratio is very low, so I wouldn't be surprised. Or I wouldn't be upset about it. How long are you planning on holding, or until what price point? Holding what specifically, Edwin? What is SGC not seen as more authoritarian when it comes to grading cards? SGC has been grading cards for 20 years, while CGC just started doing it recently. Well, as far as it goes, Anonymous, shout out to you for stopping by. SGC, I've heard about SGC, but the value that they hold is in their name is really kind of what matters. As sad as it sounds, it has less to do with the standard for grading and more to do with the brand name. So it's not going to hold as much value just because of how they are in regards to grading product. And CGC has not been one of those household names. Or maybe they're holding back stock, hoping for price reprints. I don't know. That's a great question, Asambi, but I highly doubt that they would do that. I mean, it's possible, but that just seems like so dumb, dude. Why would they do that? Asambi, I don't know, man. That definitely crossed my mind, though. I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about that. Means people will be fighting in Walmart over blisters. Yeah, right, dude. Are more celebrations ETB coming or not? I mean, Dark, from what we've heard so far, there have been some people saying reports of there's potentially going to be some in May or June. Nothing's 100% though, so I don't want to rule anything out, but I also don't want to state anything false. But I do know celebration ETBs for some places you can go buy for $50. So I do see them at my Walmart and Target every so often. So it's just interesting that CGC came on the scene and immediately became part of the top 3. Anonymous, that's just because it already held such a high standard, because it was the kind of the standard for for comic book grading, and so when it came into the scene for like card grading, then a lot of people already were like, all right, they do a good job with comics, so they're probably going to do a good job with cards. That's just what a lot of people's sentiment was behind it. So I 100% understand what you're saying, but they've been grading forever prior to just cards. It's mainly been comics, but anyway, we've been going for a while now. I'm going to start wrapping up the stream. We're going to end it at 2 o'clock. It's 1:52 right now. As always, gotta let people know, in order to enter into our weekly giveaways, just leave a like, comment down below, be subscribed to the YouTube channel. And of course, you know, we post videos each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Can't thank you guys all enough so much for supporting the stream. Do really appreciate it. Hopefully everyone's having a good Tuesday. But as far as it goes, honestly, I wouldn't be able to be here without you guys, so everything you guys do means a lot. And like I said before, for our winners, each one will be receiving, and there'll be 3 winners, each one will be receiving 8 Brilliant Star booster packs, and we'll make it 12 once we hit our milestone of 2,500 subs. So super excited to just be continuously giving you guys more product as much as I can. So, yes. True. Pokenomics, what's up? It was also because Charlie Herlocker was hired. Shout out first off to Pokenomics for stopping by. So really appreciate him. Charlie Herlocker was hired. I would love for you and they graded errors. Ooh, that's a good point. I totally didn't realize that. Huh. They graded errors. I didn't know that, Pokenomics. Thanks for pointing that out. I think that's a really good thing to actually mention, because that is a big niche. And it's funny, going back to the Charizards, obviously you guys saw my kind of pile of them. For those people that can't see, you probably can't see, it's really hard, but one of my Charizards actually has a stamp issuing on the bottom. It's got like a crimp issue, and a lot of these error cards obviously a lot of these error cards will hold premium. So that's a great point, Pokenomics. Thanks for stopping that out, Jake. Wow. Charlie Herlocker. I don't know who Charlie Herlocker is, so someone will have to explain that. I mean, we can take a look at who Charlie Herlocker is. We'll look that up right now. So CGC Comics. So let's see, who is Charlie Herlocker? This page no longer exists. Guess we don't want to know. Page is still not found. Awesome. Is there, I mean, what's the significance to who he is? I mean, he's a senior consultant, obviously, but what makes him so, I mean, I've seen his face before, but what is the value that he holds, I guess, is the real question. If someone else knows, or if, Jake, you want to kind of chime in on that one. Interesting. Do you think PSA 1 cards will hold any value? I'm thinking about crumbling up a couple of my cards to send into PSA. This is their PSA 1. They will be low pop. What? Joey, that's such a funny thing to say. It really depends, Joey. It depends. That's so funny. I mean, for a lot of really high-end collectors, they do tend to enjoy collecting every single card in each population. I think Rusty is one of those people. He owns like a population 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the PSA Shadowless Charizard. I know a lot of people like to do that. So there is a market for it necessarily, but it depends on the value. If you're telling me you've got a card in a 9 or 10 and you're like, let me crumble it up, like, I don't know if I would ever recommend that at all. I mean, I would first decide what card you're crumbling up and looking at the market premium for if it's a 1 versus a 4. So I think that's a good point. I think that's a good thing before you're like, oh, Pokemon told me to crumble up my packs and cards. I'm going to start just destroying it because I'm going to make so much money. Like that, I mean, it's an interesting idea to think about, but I don't think I can say I advise it. Who knows? What's the better investment, $34 ETBs or booster boxes? ETBs, I mean, we've talked about this a lot, Tom, on the channel, obviously, that the collectability of the ETBs, especially considering the Mew, is one of those characters that is more desirable. And it's a lot more displayable. It's a lot more desirable to collect because of the Mew. I would say that the entry point for being able to buy an ETB and to collect all of the ETBs is a lot cheaper. So there's just a lot more desire in regards to the ETBs for Fusion Strike specifically too. So that's just my personal opinion. So especially considering you are buying them, you know, at $34 in wholesale prices, you know, really cheap. Of course, you know, wholesale price is really cheap for the booster box as well. But typically speaking, you're gonna have a lot higher of a floor when it comes to elite trainer boxes on average compared to booster boxes because the margins for when you're selling ETBs as a wholesaler versus our wholesale prices compared to booster boxes, you usually get better margins because of whatever the market value is. But thanks for streaming. Yeah, I appreciate you, Tyrone. And Stolen Cars, Chevel says, I'll have to look into this. I really appreciate that Jake pointed this out because I do want to do some research on it. Because those are two, I mean, those are two good points to, or at least one of them I know of. And then the other one, I think, talking about Charlie Hurtlocker, looking into that will be a good one. Eli, I really enjoy yours and Pokenomics discussion. I hope you can do it again or make another regular conversation for your channels. Yeah, I mean, I'm 100%, I've talked about this with Jake. I really appreciate it and love his content. I've been following him for a while, like back when he only had a couple hundred subs. I mean, he literally had, or I had him on the channel back when I only had 100 subs. So he's definitely one of those guys that's, you know, very humble in the aspect of, you know, not judging people based on what their subs are. He just is like, hey, I want to have a discussion with anyone and everyone that has a, you know, opinion that I think is of value to the Pokemon community. And obviously I was on his stream last week, and so I appreciate him for that. And my biggest thing as far as with Jake is that he's a very busy person in regards to having people on the stream. So it really comes down to when he's available, honestly. So because I'm pretty open to be able to have live streams and have people on as guests. So for those people that are, you know, YouTubers, if you ever are interested, feel free to message me via email or Discord, and I'd be more than happy to try and set something up to have you on one of the live streams. But as far as it goes with Jake, love to have him on or go on another time. Just really comes down to availability. That's what I would say with that. But as far as it goes, we're kind of in the final wrap up of the video. So I appreciate everyone so much for stopping by. As always, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, be subscribed to the YouTube channel. So it looks like based on what we saw from our poll as well, I want to point this out because we did do a poll for what the break box is going to be for the upcoming stream. It looks as if 50% said Cosmic Eclipse, overwhelming amount of people wanted Cosmic Eclipse to be opened. So that's going to be the pack that we're going to be opening. As always, I'll make sure to list them on the site relatively soon and cheaper for whatever I'm buying them for. As I've said many times before, I want to make it as affordable as possible for you guys to enter into those break streams. But yeah, leave a like, comment down below, be subscribed if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways. We do our giveaways every single Monday or announce them every single Monday of every single week. So, and we have 3 winners that each will be receiving 8 billion star booster packs, and then once we get 2,500 subs, it'll go to 12. So but thank you guys once again all so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone. You guys mean the world to me. Wouldn't be able to do it without you all. But until then, I will see you guys